just do the books and buy the supplies and do all the scheduling and keep it to myself. No need to involve the whole club anyway. I folded my arms across my chest and waited for someone to speak. But of course, it wasn't about business. "Well?" asked Katie. "Okay, I was thinking, what about a genie? And you can get George Martinez to be an astronaut. Then you can wear something really dreamy and floaty and magical, like on that old TV show I Dream of Jeannie that's on Boomerang." Mia was smiling with pride at her idea. "Ooh, I love that idea," squealed Katie. "But how do I get George to be an astronaut?" She propped her chin on her hand and frowned. "Wait," interrupted Emma. "Why would George Martinez need to be an astronaut?" Mia looked at her like she was crazy. "Because a boy has to be your partner for the parade. You know that." Emma flushed a deep red. "No, I did not know that. Who told you that?" I felt a pit growing in my stomach. Even though I was mad and trying to stay out of this annoying conversation, the news stunned me too, and I couldn't remain silent. "Yeah, who told you that?" I repeated. Mia and Katie shrugged and looked at each other, then back at us. I don't know," said Katie. "It's just common knowledge." I found this annoying, since it was our first real pep rally and this was major news. "No, it is not common knowledge." I glared at Mia. "Sorry," said Mia sheepishly. I pressed my lips together. Then I said, "Well, who are you going with?" Mia looked away. "I haven't really made up my mind," she said. "Do you have lots of choices?" I asked. I was half annoyed and half jealous. Mia is really pretty and stylish and not that nervous around boys. She laughed a little. "Not exactly, but Katie does." Emma and I looked at each other like, how could we have been so clueless? "Stop!" Katie laughed, turning beet red again. "Well, fess up. Who are they?" I asked. Katie rolled her eyes. "Oh, I don't know." Mia began ticking off names on her fingers. George Martinez always teases her when he sees her, which we all know means he likes her. He even mentioned something about the parade and asked Katie what her costume was going to be, right? Katie nodded. Mia continued. "And then there's Joe Fraser, another possibility." "Stop," protested Katie. "That's all. This is too mortifying. Let's change the subject to something boring, like cupcake revenue." "Thanks a lot," I said. I was hurt that she said it, because I don't find cupcake revenue boring. I find it fascinating. I love to think of new ways to make money. How do my best friends and I have such different interests? I wondered. "Sorry, but you know what I mean," said Katie. "It stresses me out to talk about who likes whom." Still. "Well, no one likes me," said Emma. "That's not true. I'm sure people like you," said Mia. But I noticed she didn't try to list anyone. "What do we do if we don't have a boy to go with?" I asked. "Well, girls could go with their girlfriends, but no one really does that. I think it's just kind of dorky." I felt a flash of annoyance. Since when was Mia such a know-it-all about the pep rally and what was done and what wasn't, and what was dorky and what wasn't? "I guess I could go with Matt," said Emma, kind of thinking out loud. "What?" I couldn't contain my surprise. Emma knows I have a crush on her older brother, and in the back of my mind, throughout this whole conversation, I'd been trying to think if I'd have the nerve to ask him. Not that I'd ever ask if he'd do matchy-matchy costumes with me, but just to walk in the parade together. After all, he had asked me to dance at my sister's Sweet 16 party.